find us on the web at mbradio.us.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Turnbuckles and Stoggies!
Yo, what is up, everybody? What is going on? It is your favorite tag team or trio, depending on how you like to say it, of the boys here at Turnbuckles and Stoggies. Bam! We're going to start it off today by ringing that bell.
What is going on? It is me, the OG. I got the big dog here. I got the vanilla gorilla. We're coming live. Where are we coming live from, big dog?
We are coming live from Bluefield, New Jersey.
Bloomfield. What's in Bloomfield?
You don't know what's in Bloomfield?
What's in Bloomfield?
We are now at Sanj's shop in Bloomfield. If y'all never been there, it's the one and only industry killer, SP 1014s. Man's been around for 30 years. Yo, if y'all never been here, y'all better come and check him out. I'm telling you that right now.
Now, I'm going to turn it over to Joey V. Joey here has got a special sponsor that we're highlighting here on top of Sanji's shop and cigars.
So today we're actually sponsored by Money Up Lighters. You have a dual flame torch. As you can see, you got a little punch cutter on the side, your valve on the bottom, and
you got mine.
And you got a nice little cigar rest up top. So a big shout out to them for sponsoring the podcast today. You can get them on Amazon. You can search up Money Up Lighters, MONIUP. You can search cigar lighter, dual torch lighter. It'll pop up. It should be around $23, $24 with shipping, maybe $30, depending on how fast you want to ship it. If you have Prime, it's free shipping.
And what are we smoking today, Joey?
Today we are smoking the SP 1014 Love and Passion Red Toro.
Yeah, buddy. If y'all never had it, y'all got to go on order.
Well, you know what would be fantastic?
What?
If we get Sanji on here.
Well, I have to check because, when you get special treatments, you got to come in the back door when Sanj ain't here. So, I have backdoor entrance. I have to wait and see what Sanj's schedule is.
Well, our next break, check for them.
Maybe in about 30, 40, 50 minutes.
Give me about 30 minutes. We'll check with Sanj and we'll see.
Sounds good to me. Let's light up, boys.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I like the flame on this. But this texture, too, it's interesting. It's not smooth, but it's not rough. It's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Come and check us out.
To be honest with you,
it's nice weight.
You know what I would say? And I know this word is usually frowned upon on certain podcasts. You being the guy you are, me being who I am, to me that this grip feels almost like a gun grip.
Yes.
It feels almost like a grip on
like a pistol grip. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe like a rifle.
Well,
it does, right?
Whoa, slow down, killer. Because.
And what is this? This is an event?
Boys. Listen, I'm not saying my background.
I want to say that's the vent for the flame, for the air to go into the.
I'm not saying my background.
To cool it down, because if you notice,
I felt many gun grips in my life.
You like if you feel mine after I just lit up, feel where the jets are.
Oh yeah,
it's not hot at all.
No, not at all. Oh, I bet it must be a heat vent.
Probably. And this comes in 2 colors. This comes in black and rose gold.
So check this out. So I want to start today's show off with, I want to give a big shout out to a young man that I trained in the world of professional wrestling. Well, I had a hand in training him.
A man that deserves everything
A man
he's
that
getting.
deserves everything he gets, and people call him that he don't deserve it. He hasn't made it to the big time. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. To my brother and one of my trainees, Mr. Eddie Kingston. My hat goes off to you, my brother. IWGP champion.
The man.
New Japan strong.
New Japan,
and now
baby.
he is the Ring of Honor champion. He joins Loki, Samoa Joe, Homicide, CM Punk,
Xavier.
Shout
Rest
out
in
to my
peace.
man Xavier. Rest in peace. Another brother of mine that I traveled the roads with. I'm getting chills talking about it. And just so y'all know, I'm going to put this out there. Eddie Kingston posted it. Eddie Kingston is not doing any
He's decided to stop doing
independence
indies.
because of his back. He has to
Yes.
get better because he is now the champion of 2 federations.
See?
And he has to get better to get his back better so he can perform better in the ring for those 2 major federations. We apologize in advance if y'all trying to book him. Y'all cannot book him now, so please stop sending
The most you could probably book him for is maybe a signing, if
maybe
that.
a signing. That's it. But other than that, Eddie, my brother, my hat's off to you. I love you. I'm going to text you in a little while, brother.
No, I don't want to show my bald head again. That's the last time that happens on here.
So what else are we talking about, gentlemen?
Yo, bro, listen.
Wait, what are you drinking, by the way?
Me? Yeah, I've got some mezcal.
Mezcal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
you went,
Casamigos.
you went strong today.
I'll tell you what it should be.
It should
I
be
know what it
Terramana.
It
should
should
be.
be some Terramana.
It
But you know
should
what I'm
be.
drinking?
Yo, Rock, no offense, brother. No offense. I actually had my hand on the bottle. That's the
You know
big
what
dog.
I'm
I
drinking?
love that Terramana. It's a nice
drinking,
dry tequila, but it's absolutely
I'm
fantastic.
drinking some Jack Daniels winter cider. It only comes out in winter. That's right. Yes, thank you, sir. Yo, we're gonna get The Rock to send me
So,
some tequila.
Listen, what I like to talk about is this fantastic smoke. Let's talk about that first.
Oh yes,
Sure.
SP 1014 red.
Now, listen.
Love and passion.
Look at this. This is
This smoke right here, I tell you, when it first came out, we were at an event with Joey's first event with Tampano.
That was the black.
That was the black. But if you never had the red, I'm gonna tell you the red. Oof. Love and passion. This is a love and passion stick.
So I will
Sanj
tell
puts
you.
his love and passion to every stick that he makes. Just so y'all know.
So the red comes in 3 sizes. It comes in the Robusto, the Toro, and the Lancero. Now, I've had 2 out of the 3 sizes. I've had the Robusto and the Lancero. It's the first time I'm smoking the Toro size. Or second time, maybe. I will say, so far from what I've smoked, that Lancero is
On the money.
fantastic. I've smoked the
I see
Robusto.
you. I see you V cut it.
I did.
I did a
Actually,
straight
I'll
cut
show
or the
you
guillotine
exactly what I
cut.
V-cut
I
it
did a
with.
straight cut. I don't like V cuts. V cuts don't give you
I
all
use
the.
my cigar blondie cutter.
I V cut it with my Zifi cigar cutter. Nice, perfect circular V cut. It's got 2 punches on the side, spring loaded. It almost looks like a Zycar cutter, but it's a Zifi cutter, and it was free. So shout out to them.
So now let's talk about all these. Since Vince is out the door, let's talk about all these releases that have been going on this week.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I mean, there's a lot.
So let's see. They let Matt Riddle go. They let Dana Brooke go. They let Emma go. They let
Rick Moss.
Rick Moss. They let
Rick Boogs.
Rick Boogs. They let
Mansoor and Mace go, but in their defense, I understand why they released Mansoor, because Mansoor couldn't be on TV and lose due to the Saudi deal. So I understand their reasoning behind that, because you're paying a guy that's supposed to be on TV, but he can't lose, but you also can't put him over because your champions are all too powerful right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have all big guys. I mean, I understand that's the underdog story. I get that. But at the same time, if you can't put him on TV, on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, anything like that, and he can't lose, then, you know, unfortunately, it's going to sound terrible. And you know, I wish these guys the best. I wish they succeed and prosper. But that deal for the company now doesn't make them money because they go to Saudi once a year.
What about the number one free agent right now, who was just signed with WWE, who left AEW, Miss Jade Cargill?
I mean,
what's going to happen there?
I don't know.
I'm hearing that they're going to put her up against Bianca Belair. That's going to be something.
That's going to be a good match. I think in due time, in my opinion, I think she needs to go through developmental and hone a little bit more of her craft. So she's not a bad wrestler. She knows she just needs that extra oomph behind her.
So did they pick Bianca because of Bianca's experience over Rhea?
They picked Bianca at the time to be champ because Rhea's the champ now.
Well, right now,
Rhea's the champ.
Right.
Rhea's in
the hospital. But I'm saying experience-wise, is that why
Rhea's in the hospital right now? According to the latest blog I read this morning, Rhea is now in the hospital. She might have to relinquish that title. They said it's a 6-month injury that she has now.
Oh, I
haven't heard nothing about that.
Yeah, see, I got the dirt sheets.
Last I heard and saw, after that whole incident with Nia, she was at a game with Buddy Murphy. She was at a soccer game.
She's in the hospital right now. They said she might have to relinquish that title for like 6 months. So who knows? They might bring Jade up and give her that title. And then you got two people that are big and strong.
But I also don't see Jade getting the title. I don't see Jade getting the title at this juncture. But for right now, we're gonna ring that bell and we're gonna send a word from our sponsors.
So when we get back from a commercial break, we got some fast breaking news that just came through. Let's go to commercial.
Hey, it's Michelle from Park Lane Tobacconist. Come on down for a great selection of pipe tobaccos, cigars, accessories, you name it. Come on down and check us out. I want to thank Turnbuckles and Stoggies for promoting us on their program, and back to them at MBR Radio.
What is up, everybody? We are back. Before we get into that breaking news, let's talk a little bit more about this SP 1014 Red Love and Passion. I mean, this is the OG's first time having it.
First time in Sanj's shop.
What do you think about it? What do you think about Sanj's shop?
Bro, this is a fantastic smoke. If you haven't had one, listen, I highly recommend you go out and get one. Number two, if you haven't been here, I'm telling you, you're going to love this place. This is phenomenal, right?
So I've been here before. I stayed a weekend out here. I had some business, met up with some guys. And my first stop on the list was Sanj's place. And, I mean, just like you, I walked in and I was absolutely stunned by the inventory, by the amount of...
So much inventory.
Oh, yeah.
You got 2 comfy lounges. We're in the back lounge. There's a middle lounge. And then you got the front of the shop where all the inventory is. This thing is jam.
As you can see,
these are members only lounges.
These are members only lounges. Look at the shirts. See the shirts? Industry killer, baby. If y'all ain't never had one, y'all better get one. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
What
if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Suck it.
Now, before we go back into that breaking news, what are your thoughts so far on this red?
Oh, the red is absolutely fantastic. It's got great construction. It's got a nice little burn on it.
Wait, do me one favor. Do me one favor.
Go like this.
Take this and go like this real hard. Now hold it back up. What cigar does that?
There ain't very many out.
Good. I love the dark wrapper on it. I like the feel of it. I like the smoke. I like the flavors. It definitely, for me, I mean, I get a nice pop of some nice spiciness.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if it's like a black. It's a pepperish kind of
a little bit of that
spice.
Cedar-ness.
Yeah, you can definitely taste the cedar in there. It's a fantastic smoke. You got to get one of these.
And that retrohale is a nice pop of pepper on the way out.
Boy, you do. You get that. You get that. It's a nice zing.
Right on the end. It's right on the tail end.
And then it sits on your palate for a little bit, so you don't feel like you have to take another immediate drag.
Absolutely.
Like, it sits there. It fills up your mouth. Ample smoke.
And
it's fantastic. I love it. This is very good, man. Very good.
Another thing I'm going to mention with this, and I'm sure you two have noticed it, as you're smoking it, the cigar doesn't get hot.
Nope, most cigars get hot.
If you notice, down by where the cherry would be, it normally gets hot going up the tobacco. It's maybe right about there, just above the burn, it's hot. It's not hot throughout the rest of the stick.
So now.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's get back in. Now we're going to switch gears.
This is huge.
Get into the breaking news.
This is huge.
This just came out as we were on break. I was looking at my Instagram.
This is for all the wrestling fans on the internet.
Wrestling fans.
Else.
Soraya, all of her gear was stolen. Her Wembley gear, her return gear, her Outcast gear, her gear from the last 10 years. She only has 2 jackets left, a couple of ring trunks. So just keep an eye out on the internet.
Just
if you see it.
Where can they get a hold of them?
eBay.
Well, no, they went missing.
That's what I mean. Where can they get a hold of them to say, hey, I think I spotted your clothing. I think I spotted
you can DM her, I believe, or tag her or send it to AEW and just let them know that you found her ring-worn gear. Send the pictures to her first so that way she can figure out if it's hers or not. But that breaking news just came out as we sat here and went to commercial break. We just wanted to share that with everybody. By the time you see this next week, hopefully this will all be out.
We'll have an update.
And she'll have it. Hopefully we'll have an update for you on episode 5. This way we can kind of keep everybody posted on everything.
Speaking of episode, can you believe we're going to be on episode 5?
Bro,
I know.
You know what? Listen.
It went by so fast.
I'm going to say this.
The first 4 are a blur, man.
I know.
This.
I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say this because I've been in the wrestling world over 30 years. So it's like when I first started wrestling. I had to pinch myself and I told my son this morning, I said, I never realized doing a podcast is so much goddamn work. It's so much work. But you know what? I'm having a blast doing it with the 2 guys that I love. My brother OG, my son. I'm having a blast. And all the shops we go to with my brother Sanj for having us here. I want to thank him for having us here. Without these 2 guys right here and my man Kyle, can't forget Kyle, Kenzuki Cigar Club, because they're the ones that started this. I was just the one that was brought in for the entertainment purposes only. Ha, 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 ha. Eat a bag of dicks. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
So listen, on that note, boss, you make a great point, brother. Listen, it's fun doing a podcast. It is a lot of work doing a podcast, but I tell you what, it's even better when you get to do it with your best friends.
Absolutely.
And that's my best friend.
So much more when you're with people that you thoroughly enjoy spending time with. It means so much more, and it makes all the effort that we put into it worth it. Knowing I'm sitting with you guys and from doing this.
From your point of view, for y'all that don't know, me and OG met on Instagram. We became friends on Instagram. We kept talking and saying, we got to meet up. We're only hour. We met up with him. We went to Park Lane. We hung out. He came to us with Barn Smoker. He came to my house, met my wife, my kids, had food, broke bread. So y'all don't know, this man is the real deal. This is one of my best friends in the world right here.
And just so everybody knows,
love you too, brother.
Just so everybody knows, if you see or hear anything about that gear, you can contact hello@allelitewrestling.com. and put the subject line as Soraya Gear, because eventually somebody is obviously going to sell it. I've seen it happen before. So if you see it, send them the email and let them know that you saw their gear on eBay, wrestling auction sites, because they're going to say that it was given to them when in all reality it was most likely stolen. And especially the fact they took her return gear for AEW.
When you take your return
they
gear,
took her Wembley gear where she won the title in her hometown 2 weeks ago.
Or you fucking low.
I mean, come on, that's just disrespectful.
That sucks, man.
Fucking low life.
As a wrestler myself, if somebody stole my gear from my debut, I'd be pretty pissed.
Listen, speaking of that, I remember I was in New Britain, Connecticut. I was at a wrestling show. I had just got done. I put my gear in the car. I was getting ready to do an autograph signing. All of a sudden, security guard comes in and says, yo, your window's broken. I come out. The idiots try to steal my gear, except the morons broke the small window in the back. They couldn't get my gear. You moron, the window's only that big. My gear is like 150 pounds. You morons. So all y'all people out there that steal gear, I hope that you get arrested and that I hope things happen to you that only happens to people like y'all. And on that note, we're going to commercial break.
See, hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Before we break, we're giving each other much love and props here to each other for, all of this. The unsung hero, our producer in the back, H from MBR Radio. Yes. They deserve just as much praise. And I think he's the hardest working man I know when it comes to this podcast. So, H, brother,
my hats off to you,
my man. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
MBR Radio, we appreciate you. Now, yes, we're on time. Now we can break for that commercial. You're watching Turnbuckles and Stoggies on MBR Radio. Ring that bell.
You want to go get Sanj? You want to go get him? No, just go get him.
Message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Are you a veteran who served in combat after the Gulf War and was discharged between September 11, 2001 and October 1, 2013? If so, you may be eligible to apply for PACT Act benefits during a special enrollment period that ends on September 30th, 2023. The PACT Act expands benefits and care for veterans exposed to burn pits, toxins, Agent Orange, radiation, and other environmental hazards while serving. Act fast. Even if you applied before and weren't eligible, you may be eligible now. The deadline to apply is September 30th. For more information, go to va.gov/PACT. That's va.gov/PACT.
Yo,
No. Going back. Going back live.
Yo, what is up? What is up? What is up? Yo, we are back here in Sanj's Cigar Shop in Bloomfield, New Jersey. If y'all ain't been here, y'all got to get here, bro. I'm telling you. I'm enjoying this SP10. Just waiting for the guest to honor. He's a very busy man. So,
yes.
On that note, so how do you like the SP10, son?
I love it.
And what are you drinking now? Nah, he's drinking. Oh, we in trouble.
I don't know. I'm a little thirsty. So I'm drinking some Casamigos Mezcal, the black bottle. Or the shouldn't say that, the frosted glass bottle.
Where you guys from, man?
Right here.
Right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce
to you.
Let me introduce to you the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Sanj Patel himself.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend. So, Sanj.
No legend, brother. Just a hard-working individual.
Sanj, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
So how long you been in the business?
32 years.
Woo, wow. And what made
on my own.
On your own.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of people don't know. Sanj does everything on his own. So, Sanj, what made you come up with the SP 1014 red and black, the love and passion? And brother, I love you. This is one of the best cigars I've smoked. We've been here many times. And so tell us about your cigar, how you love the passion for cigars.
So
And how you got started?
A lot of that the SP Red and Black originally was made in 1992.
Wow.
All the way until late 2008, 2009. And companies at the time couldn't give me what I wanted construction-wise. As you see, all the cigars are tight as fuck. You see, I just did a pinhole. I didn't even cut it.
And which one is that?
This is the SP 1014 Red Lancero.
Lancero is phenomenal, Sanj.
So I've been on a lot of blogs and podcasts. And about 7 years ago, we had the same questions come up. Like why these cigars are going up the way they're going up. And I said it was just simply manufacturers' greed. So I said right there and there, I said, I'm going to come out with my own, re-revise all our cigars on the project called Kill the Industry. So everything that we do now is on the project Kill the Industry. Do we want to kill the industry? Absolutely not. But we want to teach people they can still make great product. Now, this Reds are 5-year-old tobacco. It's aged fully after made 1 year. So now you have 6 years age on it. And then all our cigars individually weighed 5 times before it goes into the box. And these are the 1992 pricing. SP Red in 92, Robusto was $8, Toro was $8.50, and Lancero was $9. Today are identical pricing. Black is also blended by me and Eladio Diaz. Most of you might not even know who Eladio Diaz is. Eladio Diaz was a master blender since 1982 until November 2021 for Davidoff. So again, our SP Black had 7 blends of tobacco. There's only 3 cigars exist. And the least out of the 3, least expensive one, the middle one, it was MSRP $180.
In this location, how long?
Since 1992.
And all your cigars are what prices?
MSRP, always.
So, and you also have you do it. Let's kick back. You do a lot with veterans, first responders, charities, and things like that. So when you do that, a lot of people feel that a lot of cigar blenders, a lot of cigar makers won't do a lot of charity events. Why do you do it?
That's just me. I mean, that's how we was raised. Giving back is our thing. So I really don't care what somebody else does. I only care what.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
It would be unfair to say other manufacturers don't do it. Listen, that's them, and ends right there.
And I'm going to tell you, if y'all never met Sanj in person, the same quiet gentleman he is here is the same guy you're going to meet in person. We've met him several times. We're not brothers. We're brothers and family now. And you know what? I got to give it to Sanj because I texted him, asked him if we can come and film. Said absolutely. And he opened his doors to us. And,
yes,
a lot of lounges won't do that, but this one will. And if you've never been here, you can become a member. And when you become a member, it's great. You get a fob for the back door. Am I correct, Sanj?
Yeah, but our membership is just it's very difficult. So in order for you to become, I can show you we have a waiting list of about 680 people.
Wow.
In order for you to become a member in my lounge, it has to be recommended by 2 existing members. If you're walking off the street, not happening.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's understandable. I understand. So, Sanj, what else? What other new projects do you have in hand, if you can tell us?
Well, I have a few stuff coming up. So we were actually launching the Antro Edition SPs in October, but Eladio says it needs to sit. So maybe December, January, whenever. I'm not going to rush any of it. So we have that. That's a complete charity project. And then January, February, we're launching the SP 1014 Charisma Edition.
Nice.
Charisma.
Yeah,
and now Joey was
sugar
talking
cane.
about a Cameroon thing.
Oh yes, because
So
I had
Cameroon,
seen...
so we have industry
apologize for the video.
Sorry for the interruption. So the Cameroon is out. So you did the Cameroon. Now you got the 70 by what?
That's he's saying the black. His favorite size is the 7 by 54
black.
Well, I got to try that one, Sanj. I don't think I had that one yet. But so so ladies and gentlemen, if y'all ever in Bloomfield, make sure you check out Sanj's shop. Come in, buy some cigars, MSRP, and our host today, Industry Killer, SB1014. And what's the website?
ShouldISmokeThis.com.
ShouldISmokeThis.com. Go on there. You can purchase all the cigars that they feature. And also make sure you watch them on Instagram, YouTube, and what else?
We're on ShouldISmokeThis.com.
Yes. So go follow all their social media sites. Follow them. Follow Sanj. And barbecue that you guys did back in April.
Yes.
It was a blast. I had a whole lot of fun that day. It was awesome just getting to see how your events operate.
Yeah.
Being with you, Matty Rocks, everybody, Handsome Devil. It was a blast. I look forward to next year. And for everybody that doesn't know, you need to pay attention and get your tickets when they go on, because you'll never have an event like that. I don't know what's planned for next year, but I do know I was a part of it this year, and it was a phenomenal event.
And I'm hoping, and we want to also thank Sanj for letting us do our podcast here.
Anytime.
So what do you think
about that?
What do you think about that,
What do you think about that, OG?
What do you think about that? All that information that was given out?
That was fantastic. Like, what's great is a lot of these producers or cigar makers, man, they won't give you that inside scoop. They won't tell you about their background. They won't tell you, all that stuff. So to have that kind of information come from Sanj is absolutely fantastic.
And like I said, even, I've been on your side where I've been listening to him tell his story, and I was watching your face as we were recording, and as we were talking to Sanj, and I was watching your face just in absolute amazement, the fact that he's been able to do this for so long, and keep the prices at the same price.
That's amazing. That's absolutely
and I've
amazing.
said from the beginning, when somebody had first told me about his cigars, I was like, there's no way. And then I met Sanj, and I sat down with him and hung out, and to just know everything that he just told you guys, it still shocks me, because it's absolutely incredible that he's able to do this, and the detail that he takes into putting his cigars by weighing them 5 times before they go into the box.
And that's testimony to the quality, to the attention to detail.
And you're seeing it.
You
can shake the stick right now. It's not going to fall off.
I mean, look at this thing. Let's
shake it. It's not going to fall.
And you know what I am noticing, OG? Because I just looked. I noticed you're not powerhousing this cigar like you normally would.
I don't need to.
But that's how you know you're enjoying that cigar, and you're trying to savor every last bit of it.
Yeah, I'm sad I'm this far through.
I
want to start it over.
And that's what I had. And I had told you that.
I want to start it over. Wait,
can
we do a do-over?
I had told you that. That was going to happen, is when you get halfway through, you're going to be sad that
you did say that a while ago.
You have to finish that cigar.
On that note, we're going to ring that bell.
Yo, what is up? It is me, Yo G. Hey, so guys, it's football season.
Yes, sir.
No, it's not.
It's football season.
Is it?
And the boss and I, we had a little heated contested game.
Well, I hope we're going to talk about that game just a tad.
We're going to talk about it. But what I want to talk about,
he never played in the NFL. He was a top tier college player at the U. He is.
There's Bill Goldberg. You guys can see Bill Goldberg up there.
Yeah, that's just the guy that's not up there that I'm going to name. And he wasn't in the NFL, but he was a top tier. Rock himself, Mr. Dwayne Johnson. I think, to me, besides maybe Brock and Roman, he was the only other real natural transition.
But since Bill's up there,
let's talk about Bill. So let me tell you something about Bill. Right now, Bill he owns his own
car garage,
his own car garage, his own stuff.
He's got his own TV show.
His own TV show. Bill went from a nobody to a somebody in WCW undefeated.
What streak was that? How many?
Oh God, I don't know because every time they went on
like
TV,
100 plus, right?
It was like 176-0. But every time they went on TV, if he started out at 5-0, the next week he was 25-0, and then the week after that he was 75-0. Then he was 120-0. Then he was 160-0. So they upped it as if he had 25 matches a week.
No,
it's not for wrestling purposes for that era. That was a stat that you needed, in my opinion.
So dominance-wise, though, in the matches, regardless of the number.
I mean, dominance-wise, he did give a quite a bit of dominance. The only downfall I have with him with that is when he kicked Bret Hart's head into the fourth fucking row. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I love Bill to death. I love Bill. I'm a big fan of Bill. Always was. Because who's next?
But come on, who do you like? You know, how do you? I mean,
he hasn't beat me yet.
Who's next?
Me.
Big dog next. All right. So listen. So on that, along in the sense of let's talk about Roman Reigns. Who did Roman play for in college?
I think Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
I believe it was Georgia Tech, but Roman he was in the CFL.
He was in the CFL.
The Eskimos, right?
He played up there for a little while. I'll tell you right now where he played. I'm going to pull it up to give you the exact.
To me, shout out to the Bloodline. Shout out to the Usos. Shout out to the family.
So here you go. So
I know them all.
He was number 99. He was in the CFL. He was a defensive tackle. He played at Georgia Tech was his college. And in 2007, he was on the Minnesota Vikings and Jacksonville Jaguars off-season or practice squad. And then in 2008, he played for the Edmonton Eskimos, and he had 9 career tackles, 1 forced fumble, no sacks, no knockdowns. But when he was at Georgia Tech, he actually played with, I forget who it was. Let me see. Hold on. Because I just read it the other day. Yeah, that's it. When I tell you, they're going to be astonished. Roman Reigns played college football with, arguably, in my opinion, that was the man, the myth, the legend, Megatron, Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
Boy, I don't disagree that Megatron was a great receiver. But there's other guys out there.
There absolutely
Mark
is.
Clayton, Mark Duper.
He's definitely one of the greatest to never win a ring.
And they never won a ring.
No, and that's what I'm saying. But he's up there numbers-wise.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about people that never won a ring. One of the famous quarterbacks.
Dan Marino.
My man, Broadway Joe.
No, Joe won a ring, didn't he?
Yeah.
Joe never won.
Joe won a ring. Joe Namath won a ring.
No, Joe Namath did not win. Joe Namath never won a ring.
What are you talking about? Super Bowl one.
Yeah, Joe Namath won a ring in
the
Super
first
Bowl
Super Bowl.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
Did I miss something? I missed something. What did I miss?
I'll pull it up.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Dan Marino. My bad.
That's what I said.
Dan Marino
never won a ring.
My bad.
Dan Marino.
I was losing my mind.
Dan Marino also had a cat. Wait. Time out.
I got a little Jack
Time out.
Shoes.
Time out.
Shoes, please. Shoes, please.
Dan Marino also had a cameo in Bad Boys 2. Will Smith said Dan Marino's.
So now let's go to Ernie the Cat Ladd.
The big cat, Ernie Ladd.
Ernie Ladd, baby.
That's another guy that, in my opinion, in the wrestling world.
Ernie Ladd, right there.
He's another one, in my opinion, in the wrestling world, doesn't get the flowers he deserves.
Listen,
because that
guy was a monster. He was
that guy. Not only did he wrestle,
defensive tackle, right?
I believe so.
Not
only did he wrestle in Crockett, he also booked at one time for Vince McMahon up in New York.
There he is.
Yes, he did.
And Jim Cornette tells you the famous story of he was working. Said he called me. He said, "Jim, it's Ernie Ladd. I'm working for Vince McMahon up in New York now as a talent scout." And they flew up there on their 1 day off a month, but they didn't want to leave because they believe it was $100,000 a piece or $200,000 a piece working with their best friends down in Charlotte. Like, who's going to leave that?
Mm-hmm.
But that just shows you the respect and the power that Ernie Ladd had, not only in the football field, but in the wrestling business. Ernie Ladd, I believe, was booking or working with Vince up until he died.
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
Yes, he was.
Listen, and he was a badass in football. I mean, he played with the Chargers, he played with the Oilers, he played with the Chiefs. I mean, he had what, 76 starts?
Now, did he ever?
Games?
I don't know this. I don't know this fact, so I'm actually genuinely asking this question.
33. The Chiefs never won one when he played.
And for anybody watching who doesn't know, the Oilers turned into the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
So now,
and the Chargers at that time hadn't won anything. So no, he did not.
Okay.
So now,
like I said, I asked that question not only as a wrestling fan, as a football fan, because I never knew that Ernie Ladd actually played football. To be honest with you, I didn't know that.
So now we're going to go to one of my favorite guys. One of my WCW.
I believe he's still alive.
My man Steve Mongo
McMichael, baby.
Deborah's husband.
Steve Michaels.
Look at this. And not only did he transition
from Mongo, baby.
Not only did Mongo transition from football into wrestling, but when he transitioned into wrestling, he became a part of one of the greatest factions.
Four Horsemen.
I'm saying this bar none. One of the greatest factions to ever grace a wrestling ring, a company, and that was the Four Horsemen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It was Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and at the time, was it Benoit?
He was awesome.
It was Benoit at the time in the Four Horsemen. And then you had Brian Pillman, you had Jeff Jarrett,
He's my number one, and I'm telling you, he deserves to be called number one. Chief Wahoo McDaniel, number 54 for the Indianapolis Colts, which he's most famous for.
Yes,
correct. Playing for the Colts, but he also played for the Oilers. He played for the Broncos. He played for the Jets.
Fantastic.
And the Dolphins.
Not only that dude had a hell of a chop.
Listen, 13 interceptions in his career. I mean, come on. He's a right guard.
Absolutely.
How do you get 13 interceptions as a right guard?
He chopped
his way through.
I'm telling you, he's my man. He's my number one.
If you listen to anybody talk about Wahoo, they will tell you Wahoo had the heaviest hands and chops in the business. When they say somebody chops like Wahoo, they mean somebody chops like Wahoo.
He would take their stories I saw on podcasts that he took skin off of wrestlers.
Yes, he did.
He hit them so hard. Absolutely. He would take layers of skin.
Now, everybody knows Jim Cornette was around during that time.
Yes.
In Crockett Promotions when Wahoo was down there. And he'll tell you, Jim Cornette would get involved in anything, take bumps from anybody. One thing Jim Cornette will tell you he never took and never wanted to take and never agreed to take, and that was a chop from Wahoo.
So on
you
that
can ask Ric Flair about Wahoo McDaniel.
So on that note, did anybody watch the AEW event from Arthur Ashe?
Well, so I only
Eddie Kingston.
I only caught
with Eddie Kingston and Cesaro?
So what I will say
have
is,
y'all seen Eddie Kingston's chops? He opens blood vessels on a chest.
So what I do want to say,
Eddie, I love you.
What I do want to say is big shout out to Eddie and Claudio for.
I love you.
What
Eddie.
I do want to say is shout out to Eddie and Claudio, not only for their match, but for their tribute gear to Kawada and Misawa. And for those who don't know, those are two legends in Japan. And those are two of Eddie's big time idols, is Kawada, Misawa. And what I found out after the event was when Eddie was with Kawada at StarCast, Kawada told Eddie to use a powerbomb finish the next time he wrestles.
And he did.
And he won, and he beat Cesaro with a Kawada powerbomb.
My man Eddie Kingston.
And for those who study Japanese wrestling, you know when they pull out those big moves for specific opponents,
I'm gonna have to get Eddie on here.
That's how they win the matches.
What do you think about next week? If I could text Eddie and get him on here,
I would love to have Eddie on.
If I could text Eddie, I text Eddie right now and say, "Can I get you on here next week?" What do you think?
I think that would be.
That would be phenomenal.
If we could have Eddie on here. Now, I will say that podcast when Eddie comes on, I don't know if you're a fan of Japanese wrestling.
I'm not as much as you are.
I don't know if he is, but I know me and Eddie can have very long conversations about Japanese wrestling because
I definitely want to.
I enjoy that style of Japanese wrestling. And the Tokyo Dome, and then you had the All Japan Stronghold when Baba was in charge. I forget what that was. Obviously, Eddie knows.
I just texted him.
I'll tell you what. You can go on to, and I'm going to plug another wrestling podcast here for their episode with Eddie Kingston, and that was What Happened When with Tony Schiavone and Conrad. They did an episode, a watch-along episode with Eddie Kingston, and they were watching one of his favorite matches. I don't recall it off the top of my head, but the episode was absolutely fucking entertaining. Eddie is an entertaining guy. He's hilarious. The banter back and forth between him and Schiavone will have you crying, laughing, but he also discusses his love for Japanese wrestling.
Now, the next guy that just made my list is, listen, I love this guy. This guy is one of my favorite characters with the
Ron is not only was Ron a legit badass, Ron was a badass on the field and off the field. And a lot of people are going to discredit him for this. And I know it's not one of the, I know he wasn't WWF world champion, but Ron Simmons was the first African-American world champion in North America at that time. He was the first African-American guy to win a world championship, and he absolutely, at that point in time, deserved that title.
So listen, it goes back. Hold on, it goes back to football. So I was watching another podcast, and Ron Simmons was on there. He was talking about a game he was playing for FSU, and it was like the third quarter, and he dislocated his finger on a play, and he pops this thing back.
Body slam the chair, bring the bell, go to commercial. We out.
Veterans Affairs. For PSAs on the best services available to veterans, go to VA's new radio outreach page, news.va.gov/outreach/radio.